Okay, good. So, today in our coaching session, in a live VOD review, a free VOD review that was won by Aiden, we have a Ascendant 2 Peak player that is currently hard stuck in Diamond 2. And what are his problems? Let's see what he said on Discord. So he says that my problems change from game to game, depending on what mood I'm in. So like I can't figure out how to be actual consistent. I have so many problems that I cannot seem to figure out where I should start. I was asked to, but I landed in loser's queue, and now I'm back in Diamond 1. Please critique every little thing you see so I can reach Immortal. Thank you for VOD review. Okay, so the first thing, if you're in the loser's queue, it actually exists. Basically, Valorant matchmaking is optimized in a way where if you're not perfectly playing this game, and if you're not like some kind of a god tier aimer, like they want you, they want you to progress but slowly, and they want to keep you like at 50% win rate. Like Valorant is running on, EOMM and not on, skill-based matchmaking. Now, generally speaking, if you feel that you're in the loser's queue and you're consistently getting bad players, it's better to play lower amount of matches where you're fully focused instead of playing like 10 matches per day. And that is the worst thing you can do. Generally speaking, what is the optimal amount of games to play? What is the optimal amount of games to play in Valorant per day? So the optimal amount of games is playing like 2 to 3 games on the main account daily, where you are fully focused and try-harding. You'll have 10 times, not 10 times, but you'll have like at least 20% higher win rate if you're playing lower amount of matches than if you're spamming the games. Because let's say, you win 6 matches in a row, and you're playing like 15 games that day. That is a perfect moment to stop your fucking, queue. Don't stop on the loss, stop on the win. End of the story. You win 6 matches, you have to get the fuck out. You're lucky. Get the fuck out, you won your games. Like, at a certain point, like, Valorant really starts to give you, like, some boosted gorillas in your lobbies. And also, like, you cannot really focus on that huge amount of the matches. Like, what I do when I'm seriously grinding for Radiant, I usually play maximum 3 to 5 games in a single gaming session. Playing more than this is absolute suicide. Like, there is not a single human being that can be fully focused for more than 5 matches of ranked solo queue. There's absolutely no way. Like, even if you're a pro player, if you're a tier 1 player, if you're a ranked gorilla, etc., like, at a certain point of time, your focus drops, you start caring less, because you already played enormous amount of effing games, and it's natural, and unhealthy, generally. So, this is the optimal amount of games that I usually recommend for players to play in Valorant, while following these exact rules right here. And whoever followed this from my coaching, he progressed 30 to 40% more than players that are actually spamming the games 24/7, playing whenever the fuck they want, playing tired, playing sleepy, playing there, here, etc., etc. I know how to cheat the EOMM. I was dealing with some bullshit before. After I did what I learned, I did against this. Okay, good. Okay, now, so this guy is inconsistent. His KD is abysmal. That is the first thing that we can see. Probably he is dying way too many times in unnecessary ways where he doesn't need to die, and he's picking the gunfights that he doesn't need to pick. Headshot percentage is okay. I mean, for a Diamond 2 player, it's fine. Overall 90%, including the shotguns and everything. 27% on Phantom, 36% on Vandal, Classic 27%. It's like okie dokie. I don't know how the hell you have a Classic pistol as a 3rd most used weapon. Like, that's borderline impossible. The guy is doing a challenge, like Classic only to Immortal. Now, one immediate thing that I need to tell you here is this is not good. Like, this is something that I always speak about when I'm reviewing the trackers, like, stick to the weapon that feels more comfortable for you and on the weapon on which you're better. Stop switching between the Phantom and Vandal every single round, every single match. It is better to have a consistency in your shooting techniques and the weapons that you're using than switching the weapons consistently. Because that is how you build up a consistent gameplay. Generally speaking, in ranked solo queue, it doesn't matter if you're using a Phantom or a Vandal. In pro play, Phantom is a bit better because of the chip damage, but in solo queue, it seriously doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if you're playing Cypher, Killjoy, Omen, Jet, Viper. It is a preference based on your aiming techniques, aiming style, based on what you feel comfortable with and what feels better for you. From these stats here, I mean, you're 10 times better. Okay, not maybe 10 times, but you get the point. You're far better on Vandal than on Phantom. Stick with the Vandal. I play Phantom because I have a skin for it. Justified. average Valorant player, man. Okay. Now, maybe he picked it up from the ground. You cannot pick up the Phantom and Vandal 426 times from the ground. That's impossible, man. And majority of the players in Valorant use the Vandal over the Phantom. Like, I see 10% of players in Valorant in solo queue use Phantom. So, 723 kills on Phantom ain't it. So, the guy's hunting the kills on the ground, hunting the skins on the ground. True. Now, I don't know how do you have like one, you have like, how many games? You have 120 games, and you have like, Classic is your third most used weapon. I mean, in eco rounds, hull by rounds, like Sheriff, Marshal, Stinger, where's the Stinger? Where's the Spectre? Where's the Judge? How the fuck is Classic here? Like, the guy is a godlike pistol player, and he is not. Interesting. First buy every game. Okay. Worst maps? Haven? Yeah, I mean, Omen on Haven is amazing, man. Like, Omen on Haven, like, especially with my strategies and tactics, like, I also have a very high win rate on Haven with Omen, generally. Like, okie dokie. Fracture, Brimstone. Omen, you can play Omen on Fracture up to Immortal 1, but from Immortal 1, like, Brimstone is just better. Generally speaking, Brimstone is better. You can make Omen useful to Immortal 1, but from Immortal 1, like, play Brimstone. Ascent is a hit or miss. I mean, generally, Ascent as a map is really effed up in solo queue, and, a lot of shenanigans can happen. On Pearl, you definitely need to stop playing Viper. Like, even though you're maining controllers, maybe try Astra. Like, if you're already not finding any impact with Viper, just play Astra. Or play Brimstone or something like that. Like, you're in the Diamond lobbies. Like, in Diamond lobbies, you don't even need Viper and Astra. Generally speaking, like, in all of the lobbies below Immortal 3, you're not losing or winning the games because of team comp. Like, maybe 5 or 10% of the games, you will lose or win because you have a certain team composition. In all the other games, like, you're gonna lose or win because, the agent that you're playing, because some other factors. Now, Split. You're playing Omen and only 42% in Diamond. This can be much better. I mean, on Lotus, like, I don't know why the fuck would you even play Phoenix. Like, you were literally trolling on Lotus. Like, I mean, with Omen, you're really good on Lotus. Just abuse the Omen. No? And on Icebox Viper. Why the fuck would anyone play Viper on Icebox before Immortal 1? Like, Omen is a machine on Icebox up to Immortal 1. Like, literally god tier agent. The plays that you can do on Icebox with Omen on both attack and defense, Viper is just shit to Immortal 1, like up until Immortal 1. For Immortal 1, you need to play Viper. Unfortunately, Omen is shit. End of the story. Okay. A bit of Jed there, huh? We are definitely in the loser's queue. But, you know. Loser's queue. Even though you're in the loser's queue, your KD and scores not really Gucci, man. Not really Gucci. Bro, this match was sad, huh? This match was sad as fuck. Okay. Okay. Let's see, guys, what he's doing. And what's your overall, like, peak and everything? So he started in episode 3, Act 1, Bronze 3. Okay, I mean, through like 4 episodes, like, Ascendant 2 peak. Not bad. Like, what is that? Like, that is 12 acts. 12 acts. That is 2 years of playing the game. Not that good, to be honest. Like, not that good, but not that bad, to be honest. Like, I've seen worse. I've seen much worse. Yo, MLKBC, welcome to man. Thank you a lot for the subaroni. Much love. Okay, let's go. Split, Diamond 2, Omen. Let's teach this guy some tricks on Split. I mean, Omen is very simple on Split and very easy to be played. Like, one of the best agents. Like, Omen and Jet are just, I don't know, like, up to Immortal 3, you can carry every single match with Omen and Jet on Split. Yo, man, I seriously cannot wait. I seriously cannot wait for us to start the series on Wednesday. Bro, I'm gonna be Bing chilling. Bing fucking chilling. Like, finally, I'm gonna be doing my job, man. Which is not grinding for fucking Radiant for 20 fucking times. Even though, you know, 20 times Radiant from close beta sounds good. Sounds better than 90 times Radiant. But, bro. Unranked to Immortal with every single agent. I can play like this. With eyes closed. And the first agent is Jet. Free views on YouTube. Okay. Let's go on the Splitteroni. Basically vacation round 2, yes sir. Also, like, we will try the rank 1 grind one more time at the end of this year. In November and December, I will try to, you know, get rank 1 one more time, but I don't know, I need to definitely reset myself for that. The beginning. Can you do the giveaway also since it's late and I got to go soon, LMAO? I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Can you watch my tracker for 2 minutes and say your opinion where I could improve, please? Generally speaking, I don't give a shit about the trackers. Like, trackers don't tell anything. You know, like, you know, whoever is reviewing the trackers for money, that guy is literally scamming you. Like, fuck the tracker reviews, man. I need to see your gameplay, I need to see your VOD, I need to see your opinions, I need to hear from you, man. What do you think your problems are? To see your gameplay. Like, trackers can lie a lot. Like, for an example, my tracker says that I'm a shit player. And basically, like, I have, like, I don't know. I have a high win rate and a high, like, impact on every round. But for example, I have, like, 24% headshot ratio with Vandal and Phantom. But I still have 60% win rate this act. At least I had it before I started trolling. Betas look like they have a good trackers. True, exactly. Okay, let's go. Split. First round. Where we're starting? We're starting on attack defense. Attacking. Okay, okay. Ooh, once again we have a shit sound. Okay, Split. First round attack. Let's refresh our memory. What do we do on Split, chat? So on Split, only one God tier strategy exists if your teammates want to listen to you. Tell them, hey guys, Let's push onto the A tower. Let's push into the vents. Let's take the vents control. Let's go onto the B tower. Let's go onto the B site. That is how I usually love to start and what type of call I love to give to my teammates. Now, what should you do in this round? Generally speaking, if I'm playing Omen, I'm gonna smoke here. I'm gonna smoke tower. Always make sure that you have a smoke on tower, so you're blocking this angle. And I'm going to teleport from this smoke all the way into the cubby position into that smoke there. And I'll try to split the A tower on the contact of my teammates and take the A tower control. Now, why is this the best strategy for solo queue? And of course, like if you get like 2+ kills here, if you get 2+ kills on A tower, you should always like drop down onto the A site and just take the A site control. If you take 1 kill or 0 kills, commit to the strategy. Now, in the first round on split, it is extremely hard to push through the choke points. If the enemies have the Race, Astra, Viper, Killjoy, Cypher, your teammates can make enormous amount of micro mistakes that can ruin the win percentage of your round. So, generally speaking, it is better to fight for this type of a position and from this position to split the enemies apart and make the pressure on them than pushing to the choke point here to the choke point here. Now, one additional strategy, which is the second best strategy for split in the first round. Basically, if enemies don't have the Sage in the team, so enemies don't have the Sage, no problemo. You can also do the split onto the B site, where one of your teammates, preferably, lurks through the B main area of the map. Whenever you're splitting the B site, it is very important to have this guy here. Because, you know, it's really stupid to commit to the 5-man push onto the B tower and B site without this position controlled. Like, then you need to clear many more angles. When you reach, let's say, this position here, or this position, that's not Omen, or this position here, you're always in some kind of a crossfire, and you consistently need to worry about the B main area of the map. Now, 4 of your teammates, including you, are going through the mid and trying to take the B tower control. Spike is obviously going with the players in mid. As Omen player, I would give my teammates a one-way smoke here, smoke on tower, on, yeah, B tower, and I'll just push with my teammates onto the B site. For both of these strategies, I prefer buying in the first round the classic life shield, 2 shrouded steps and 2 smokes, so that I can be adaptive. I can adapt to any scenario and situation, regardless of how good or bad my teammates are, so that I can follow maybe my Jet or Race player into the bomb sites. And also, like, because split is a close range, you know, close range, mid-range map. Like, majority of fights that you're fighting are close range fights. So, in this VOD, enemies don't have the Sage, they have the Killjoy, and a lot of really strong agents to defend the B main push. So in this round, it will be an absolute suicide to push the B site as 5. If the Killjoy is there, your push is gonna get delayed, your push is gonna get stopped, you will have to rotate, enemies might flank, lurk, destroy your teammates in multiple different ways, end of the story. So here, any of these 2 strategies that I've said right now would be a good option, would be fine.
Reloading.
Okay. Now, in the first round, if we are pushing the B site, just like I'm gonna die. Can you quickly explain why that is good? Why not just go A if you're going tower? I've done it. Would it be possible to do a small session for like 5 to 10 minutes, another stream where you look at viewers' trackers? Nope, because I really feel that trackers are just stupid. I mean, I can look at the trackers, but it really doesn't matter that much. Now, in the first round, if for some reason your teammates want to push B, we always want to be aggressive, and we always want to do the aggressive play. Aggressive outplay with Omen. So, especially if you have a Sage. If you have a Sage to wall off this, just a second, we're always doing one really powerful and strong execute for the first round. You're dropping a smoke. Yo, Master Shedex, bro! Much love, man. Much love. So, in the first round, we're pushing the B side. Our teammates say, hey guys, let's push the B side. I tell them, yo guys, it is much better to not push the B, let's push tower. Let's push the B side. And we push the B side. And we die. Potentially. Now, we do the smoke on B tower like this. Always. This is the best B tower smoke. Nothing else works. Don't mess it up. Like basically, B tower smoke should always be deep, completely covering every single angle from which enemies can peek you. Now, why do we do this smoke and not some shit like this? So that enemies, when they're coming from the tower, they need to drop down here and peek us, or they need to push through this choke point here in order to peek us. And it is a lot better for us to fight the enemies here when they're there than if the enemies can peek from the smoke like this or peek from the smoke like this. Now, second smoke. So I do this. Second smoke goes here. And your job is to pick a right moment of time as your teammates are pushing into the bomb site to perform this execute. We are jumping, teleporting, and from this position, we have 3 different executes that we can perform. First execute. Teleporting down here. From this position, surprising the enemies and killing them. Second option. Teleporting down there, which is usually the best option as well. From that location, extending our push and surprising the enemies. And third location, onto the rafters, and from rafters, surprising the enemies and teleporting for the behind the enemies. You will see me do this play a lot of the times in the YouTube videos, and every single time I've done it, 90% of the times it works. Around 90% of the time. Also, this smoke is not bad. Sometimes I actually catch the enemies in a one-way there. Like, I don't know, they're peeking around the smoke. I don't know what the fuck enemies are doing. Even in Radiant, I see players, you know, playing around the smoke there. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do. Like, weird stuff. Now, from this smoke, you can also teleport on tower, but it's risky as fuck. You know, like, you can also teleport into this smoke right here. Sometimes I do that, like, when I'm playing some eco rounds, hull by rounds. I don't know, like, if I'm playing some kind of, you know, round where I only have a shorty, it's okay. You know, risk it for the biscuit, you know, like, maybe you get 1 kill on tower, maybe enemy is not in the smoke ready. You can just peek from the smoke, kill the enemy. It's risky. But generally speaking, like, I focus on teleporting here, here, and here. Now, let's see what my G is gonna do in the first round. Also, this strategy and this execute is good for any round. Not only first round, like first round, second round, third round, eco round, you know. You can do 3 different variations of the execute. So from this one execute, you have 3 executes, essentially.
Cover going out.
You know, first round on the attacker's side. First round on the attacker's side. Essentially, in solo queue, you just want to avoid sentinels as much as possible. And also, in solo queue, you want to make sure that your teammates can commit to that initial strategy without your push getting stopped. English, man. Englanda, bro. Essentially, like, in the first round in solo queue, like, you want to avoid the sentinels as much as you can. All the way up to Immortal 3. Like, players in Immortal, Ascendant, Diamond, Bronze, Silver, like, they just don't know what to do against the Killjoy. You know, against the Cypher. Like, they're just gonna die like a potatoes, man. They're gonna push the site without using any ability, any Sky Dog, any KO Knife, anything. Like, it is much better to perform the strategies that I've explained previously on Split than doing what you did right now. Now, You lost 1 life, 1 teammate. Your push got delayed and stopped. Enemies are already on a rotation. If you decide to rotate back, maybe enemies have taken a space here and they're gonna surprise you and kill you from some stupid off angles. And this round already has like, I don't know, 50% less chances of success. Okay, loving it, loving it. Let's go! Ah, unlucky. When you're doing this type of an execute, essentially, you need to do it fast. Basically, you cannot do this execute alone without your teammates making the pressure from the site. Because then, like, enemies can fully focus on your shrouded steps and fully focus on you. And then, you know, this execute won't work. So basically, I love that you try to do something since your team has just stopped and they were like, fuck it. But when you're performing this execute, it is really important that your teammates are able to go out and fight for this area of the map right here. Otherwise, you know, if I'm playing on the B site and I hear the Omen teleport somewhere, you know, I can just focus on you, check, you know, left, right, below me, above me, kill you, end of the story. Generally speaking, like, this round was doomed from the start. Like in solo queue, you cannot call on split to push like A main and B main S5. It's borderline impossible. The only time in the first round on split, when is it okay to push A set or B set S5 in the first round, is if the enemies don't have any of these agents. Like, if the enemies don't have a Killjoy, Sage, Cypher, or Viper, fine. You can go 5 A main, 5 B main, just push the site. Against these agents, like, you're donezo, man. I was going to ask if you had a coaching VOD channel and I found it on your Discord. Yes, Sirski. Now, in every single eco round, hull by round, bonus round, like on split, you know, you have you can do 2 things. First thing, you can try to fight for the A tower and B tower control and make the pressure on mid, vents, B tower and A tower. And the second thing that basically you can do on split in those eco rounds and hull by rounds, you can just call for a 5-man push. You know, try to breach into the site with Omen with some kind of an aggressive play, get into the face of the enemies with a shorty or with a classic pistol, trade yourself out, lead your teammates into the site, and that's it. Usually, my main focus when I'm playing those equal hull by rounds on split is making the pressure on mid and trying to find the kills there. So a lot of times you will see me do something like this. Like, I buy the shorty, I buy 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. Do a smoke here, do a smoke here, jump spot the enemies, run fast towards this position, and from this position I'm trying to close the gap with the enemies in mid. Like, you know, either jumping into the smoke here, trying to kill the enemy in the vents, maybe trying to kill the enemy that is potentially playing here, potentially playing there, etc, etc. Trying to just find a, you know, 1 entry frag on mid. The worst thing that you can do in solo queue, like on split in eco rounds, on the attack, is play default. Like, your teammates are gonna get picked apart and you're just gonna lose the lives for nothing.
Can someone buy me, please?
Omen.
In this round, you should have bought some kind of a utility. You know, like, even though you're playing an eco round, you should have bought a smoke and a shrouded step at least, because you want to get into the face of the enemies. You have only a classic pistol. Like, what the fuck you're gonna do with a classic? I mean, yeah, you can maybe get a kill somehow, but in those type of rounds when I'm playing Omen on attack, like, my main focus is how the hell can I outplay enemies, get into their face, and abuse, you know, the classic or a shorty shotgun potential. When I say classic shotgun potential, I mean the triple click, and that's it. Like, you don't want to fight these long-range gunfights, medium-range gunfights, etc, etc. You're just losing the potential. You're just losing the potential as an Omen main. You know, like, like, Omen is a character that can be passive, aggressive, that can be very impactful in both eco, hull by rounds, full by rounds. Like, it's stupid to play him in this way. in those type of rounds. Does it cost to hire you as a coach? Yes, sir, Skip.
Someone's there.
He got love tap, man. Push, you need to pick. Like, in eco rounds, and hell by rounds, like when you're playing a shotgun, or you're playing like a short, you're playing a classic pistol. If I heard right here that the enemy KO is behind the smoke, right there, making a footstep, I will not wait for that KO to spam me and to push me and peek me. I'll just, you know, come close, run out, and rely on the RNG of Valorant. Like, that is your best chance to get some kill, damage the enemy's economy, and, you know, potentially even out the numbers, make the numbers advantage, etc, etc. Like, that's the whole point of these rounds when you're playing Omen. Like, just closing the gap with the enemies and trading yourself for as many kills as possible.
Mates here in the entrance.
One thing that players do, I really don't know why players do this. Like, if enemies don't have a Sage, mid is open. You know, like fight for the B tower, fight for the vents control. Like, it is borderline impossible to defend mid on split without a Sage or without a good killjoy setup. Almost impossible. So, you know, if you see that opportunity, abuse it. I mean, right now, pushing the B side is a suicide. We know that the killjoy is a B player. We know that on A side, there is the weakest link. Why is the A side the weakest link of the enemies? Because on A side, they're playing like what? They're playing Jet and Reyna on A side. You know, what the fuck are Jet and Reyna gonna do on A? If you hear the enemy killjoy on A, you can maybe rotate, you can fight for the A tower, you need to commit to the push. And also, like, on split, like, when you notice that enemies are eco or hull by, and they have a lower economy than you have, just avoid the mid area of the map. Like, there is no reason, there is absolutely no reason to pressure the... Oh, what the fuck happened right now? Sorry, guys, like, my monitor died. There is no reason to close the gap with the enemies on mid. You know? Like, if enemies are eco or hull by, or they're playing a bonus round, just call for a 5-man push A, 5-man push B, or, you know, just pressure the A tower at the end of the day. As a killjoy, is it better to hold mid or side if you don't have Sage? You should variate a bit. You know, depending what you think enemies will do. Like, generally speaking, you know, this is personally my favorite setup for killjoy on split. Like, I already explained this once. Like, doing a nano there, doing a nano here, and doing a alarm bot here, doing a turret right here, and essentially, you know, holding the tower, holding the main, holding everything. Like, if you don't have a Sage, this setup is kinda a must, especially, you know, in the starting rounds of the match.
Well, let's not go into them.
In all three of these rounds, you did exactly the opposite of what I'm trying to teach the players on Omen. Like, in the first round, you push B in split against the killjoy. You missed your timing for the aggressive play. Second thing, you know, you didn't abuse the aggressive factor in the second round. And now in the third round, we're pushing the mid. And enemies have the sheriffs. Enemies have the... specters, judges, shorties, buckies. I don't know. They, you know, like, they're gonna penetrate you, man.
Yeah. Smoke now.
No charges.
I don't know, man. I really don't trust this round at all. I feel that this round is gonna go horribly wrong for him, man. I don't know why. I have a bad feeling about this round.
30 seconds left.
Now, listen. One thing that you should definitely learn as an Omen main is to do this one-way smoke on mid. Basically on top of the doorway with a green triangle. Like, this smoke is far better than a regular smoke. If your idea is not to pressure the vents. If you have a close range weapon, then you should do a regular smoke.
Reloading. Engineer,
Bro, enemy killjoy, dry peaked that angle. And this is diamond elo. Amazing. Well, I mean, I predicted that the round is gonna go horribly wrong. Come on, man. Like, what the fuck was this round? Literally, this is why you avoid the mid when the enemies are equal hull by. Like, there is absolutely no reason. I don't know what's happening, guys. I'm sorry, but I seriously don't know what the fuck is happening. No mic? What do you mean no mic? Is mic here? Hello? Maybe the Omen out of the game. Big hero. Okay, great. I don't know, guys. Like, today, like my stream disconnected 4 times from the servers. I don't know what's happening there. It's okay. It's okie dokie. It's okie dokie. So, as I was saying, like, don't contest the mid area of the map in those type of rounds. Okay? Okay. Good. We have an agreement.
Player standing.
Like, there's nothing better that you could have done here, to be honest. Like, the only better thing that you could have done, something that I really pay attention on, is when your teammates are deciding to push the B tower, you need to be ready to flash them out. Like, if you already have a paranoia on mid, and my teammates are going into the tower, I will always use a flash like this to completely neglect this angle, and these positions from the enemies. Or, if my teammates are all... I like the title face. What? Or if your teammates are, you know, like, already pushing here, then I would just jump here, do this flash, and that's it.
Player standing.
Yeah, loser's queue.
Defense.
But this is not loser's queue, man. Like, this is just wrong calls, wrong strategies, wrong tactics, wrong utility usage. Like, these 3 rounds were more than winnable. Just extremely bad calls of what we want to push and when we want to push, you know, on this map. Now we want to contest the mid. Now we want to close the gap with the enemies on mid. We want to try to take the kills with a shorty, try to get into the face of the enemies, try to, you know, make the pressure on mid, take the mid control, B tower control, and from that moment on decide what we want to do. We definitely don't want to push B side in this round, where we know that the killjoy is there with 10 fucking nanoswarms, you know, that can penetrate us. That flash I only do if I notice that enemy jet is using the operator. Do not waste a flash there. It is much better to ask your Sage to do the slow orb, or to ask your Reyna to drop a Leer. So essentially, this Omen flash is the most powerful and the most useful when you're pushing some useful positions for your team. Pushing the bomb sites, pushing the towers, etc, etc. So, essentially, it is much better to waste any other flash. Like, in this VOD, we have the Gecko, we have the Reyna, we have the Sage. So, you should be asking your Reyna, hey Reyna, my man, can you flash the B main area of the map? And how do you flash the B main with Reyna? You come here, you do this. End of the story, like, I mean, you can drop it a bit more to the left, to be honest, like this.
30 seconds left.
I feel the strain. Block it out.
They have heard us.
We are dead here, man. I really don't know, we're dead. One more thing. Bro, I'm tripping, like there is a music in my ear from I was like, what the fuck am I listening to? So, try to avoid picking up the orbs as Omen generally. Like, tell your teammates to pick up the orbs. Omen ultimate is just very inconsistent, borderline useless compared to like Ray's ultimate, Sage ultimate. Like, tell your Sage can't pick this orb, Ray's pick up this orb. If really, you know, no one is picking up the orb, and it's only you that can pick up the orb, then pick up the orb.
Reloading.
Shadows traveling.
Here, it's completely fine that you're rotating with Gecko because he has the spike. If he dies, we're in a lot of shit. But anyways, we're in a lot of shit because right now, enemies can be in the sewers, enemies can be in the spawn. A lot of bad things can happen. No one is calling what we're doing, like 3 teammates are playing on mid.
Can you flash?
I mean, in this round, I would just go onto mid with my teammates. I would just tell my Gecko man, like, let's go mid with them and let's just pressure the mid. Anyways, that was a proper call from the start of this round. You need to clear more angles. Like here, this angle needed to be cleared. That angle needed to be cleared. Like, in those type of rounds, it's better to play with your team. Fuck lurking, fuck flanking, like, especially if your teammates are on mid on split, just try to support them, try to get an easy kill. Like, the easiest place where you can get the kills in eco rounds and halberd rounds is mid. Like, just closing the gap with the enemies with the shorty, with the shotgun, with the frenzy, with the classic, like, and destroying them with those weapons.
Cover going out.
I like the idea there with the smoke. Like, he is just blocking the vision of the enemies, so the enemies don't know that he might be crossing onto the 8th tower. That smoke can be useful, maybe not, maybe it's gonna be wasted. I don't know. Nobody knows. Okay idea.
Gun here.
I definitely would have expected that one enemy can be in the vent. And before going for the gun, I would have reloaded and then picked those angles. But anyways, you know, I don't know why nobody from your team picked up that gun and, you know, what the fuck is happening here?
Their backs will be.
Once again, this round was doomed from the beginning. Like, from the initial strategy and from the initial push that we wanted to do.
Reyna likes to play in screens and you Earth Tower.
Here.
Okay.
Shadows traveling.
Whenever you're smoking, the 8th tower, you always want to do the one-way smoke. So whenever, like, if you're doing a default smoke just to block the enemy's vision, and you don't plan to do any aggressive play or execute, do the one-way here, like this. If you're pushing the 8th tower from the A main, you also want to do that smoke. If you want to do some aggressive play around that smoke, then you do a smoke like this. So you can teleport on the edge of the smoke or all the way deep into the smoke.
Here. Shadows traveling.
Okay, there, you pretty much got shot on. Like, generally speaking, I feel that, you know, like, based on the stats... Papito, do you think we'll start our coaching right at 6? Nope. I'm gonna be late, man. 100%. Listen, generally speaking, I feel that your stats showcase that you're much better on Vandal than that you're on the Phantom. Use the Vandal. End of the story. Now, was the idea to push the A in this round a good idea? Absolutely. Why? Because, like, we noticed that Killjoy is playing B. We noticed that on A side they have Reyna and Jet. and KO is mid, Omen is mid. You know. What the fuck are Jett and Reyna gonna do? And how the hell they're gonna stop us on A site? We have the utility, we can flash them, we can pop flash them, we can push into the site aggressively, we can stomp them down. Right now, I would repeat the same play. Just to see, you know, how the enemies are gonna play, if they're gonna adapt, and that's it. The only thing that I would pay attention on in this round is that enemy Jett might have the operator. And I would definitely flash maybe the tower or A main and hold the A main for a bit before pushing in.
Now we're talking. Don't jinx.
Igen. Killar jag setup on B. Kom A.
Okay, I mean, we can also, like... what Raze is saying right now makes a lot of sense. Like, you know, I will push A set again. Because a lot of players in Valorant are playing on autopilot mode. I see a lot of Killjoy players, Cypher players, like, you know... It feels like they are entitled to play only one bomb site. I don't know, like, they saw that one player is playing, you know, that they think that Killjoy players should always play B, and they just play B. Bro, it's fucking solo queue. Like, you need to adapt to what the enemies are doing, what they are pushing, what they're abusing, etc, etc. Like, you cannot always make the same setup and be like, oh, that's my job. Like, no, your job is to predict where the enemies are gonna go next, try to stop and delay their push, and that's basically it. Like, changing your setup so that you're a bit more interesting.
This Sage. Oh, no, they don't have a wall. Never mind.
Cover going out.
Bro, like, 3 of you guys swung this angle. Like, there is not a single possibility that enemy Jett can have the op from the vents. Like, if the enemy Jett has the op right now, triple collat. Like, you know, always, guys, you know, how is this possible in Diamond, man? Like, I mean, this is Diamond Ascendant. When you're aggressing the mid area of the map, no matter if your Omen smokes this or not, you always need to jump spot it, or jiggle peek it, bait out the shot, and then peek the angle. Like, you cannot just go out, like, you know, pre-assuming that oh, enemies maybe won't have the operator there. Oh, we lost it.
Cover going out.
Enemy spotted you.
Okay, listen. Never use the regular crosser when you're playing shotguns. Always use the circle crosser. I was explaining this in one of my previous, like, coaching sessions. But I love what you're trying to do here. Like, this is far better than everything that you've done up until this point. Trying to punish this guy in the vents, playing the judge, not bad. At least you're trying to do something proactive. The call was also not that bad, even though I would have just pushed the A set, to be honest. Like, I mean, A set is free for you. Like, they have Reyna and Jett on A. But this is good. Good read. Like, enemies don't have a Sage. We can easily close the gap on mid, etc, etc. But the only thing that you should do, the only thing that you should have done here, if your idea is already to kill the guy there with a shotgun, with a close range weapon, you need to smoke this, and you need to smoke the cross here. Especially if the enemy Omen has a smoke here. Then we're exiting the smoke, clearing this, entering the smoke, killing that enemy. Like, you cannot cross this area of the map. Yeah. You cannot cross this area of the map without that smoke, if you're already crossing it with a close range weapon. Or you need to do a TP, like, all the way there. Yeah. Valorant is the game of RNG, this and that. Like, I don't know what to tell you here. Like, this guy, you know, you got Valoranted, to be honest. Even though, maybe if you already decided to play a shotgun and to punish this enemy in vents, you could have been a bit more aggressive, you know, like, trying to jump around, trying to abuse the run and gun potential of the judge. Like, there is no reason to... There is no reason to shift anymore. Like, enemy knows that you're in the smoke. Like, just try to, you know, clear this angle, jump around randomly. Like, there's the whole power of the shotguns. Like, you're... Basically, there is no spread punishment, like, when you're running around and jumping like a maniac. But this was a bit lucky, to be honest. Like, this guy got some... like... What the fuck was this?
Standing.
How did your teammates die on A?
Cover going out.
So you died there? Reyna killed the guy on tower. Jet is also vents.
Spike down mid.
Okay. I mean, in those type of games where you see that, you know, A set is primarily defended by the duelist and enemies don't have the Sage, like, just abuse the mid and abuse the A side. End of the story, like, and pushes 5.
K2 fan. Okay, guys, flash times. Something.
We survive.
Cover going out.
Okay, listen. So, the first time when you're performing this strategy, like this aggressive play and aggressive push is actually really good, and I do it a lot. Like this smoke play that he did was all good, all good. Like basically, you want to do a smoke here, like this. You want to do a smoke on tower, the one-way smoke if possible. You want to flash the enemies here, and you want to teleport here. Like the first time when you perform this play, you always want to teleport in this position, just to notice whether or not the enemies are playing inside of your smoke and how aggressively or how passively enemies are playing around your smoke. The second and third time when you perform this play, you can maybe teleport inside of the smoke, if you notice that enemies are not really abusing, you know, your smoke. This is a bit unnecessary, to be honest. Like generally speaking, second TP here is kind of unnecessary. It's just better to push from the smoke and try to basically, you know, kill the enemies at the elbow or push into the site. Second TP, if you don't have any cover here, you're kind of fucked. You are kind of fucked, you know. Like, even with a shotgun, I would just peek out, to be honest. Like, it's slightly better. Like, if I'm playing here with a shorty, I'll just go out, you know, like, do this, bunny hop around, try to kill the enemy on the site, etc., etc. And also, like, one huge tip, like, whenever you're entering sites, doing aggressive plays with Omen or such agents, you don't need to peek first. Like, basically, when you perform some aggressive execute with the Jet, with Omen, with Raze, etc., etc., and you make the mental and the map pressure onto the enemies, you don't need to, like, if you think that you don't have a timing to perform, like, additional pressure onto the enemies, it is completely fine to chill around your smoke a bit, to see where your teammates are gonna get a contact, to peek on the contact of your allies. Like, by only playing inside of this smoke, you already make so much, like, mental and map pressure onto the enemies, where they're scared, you know, like, they don't know where the fuck are you going, where the hell you are, and they either need to choose the fights with your teammates, or they need to be aware of you, you know, and be careful, like, what the fuck you're gonna do. So it's completely fine when you perform this type of executes to chill a bit in the smoke, you know. If you think you don't have a timing to do anything more, just stay there, chill a bit, play on the contact of your teammates, and that's it.
Race, wait, real quick. Don't make a noise. Don't make noise. Stay.
Yikes. That race, that was really stupid. Okay. When you're peeking the angles in Valorant, and you want to peek the angles with ADS, you always want to ADS at the moment of time when you're actually peeking the angle. When you have, because, like, peeking the angles with ADS, you're much slower than without the ADS. So if I want to peek that angle with a Guardian, and I want to ADS that angle and go for the one tap, I'm gonna peek it like this, and I'm not gonna peek it like this while I'm ADS'd. It's just better.
Cover going out.
You're faster.
Depends.
I mean, if your teammate is already fighting the enemy wide in the open, like, just, you know, peek out, don't be a pussy, fight with him. Help him out. This game, you're really playing on a full autopilot mode. Like, you need to be more focused. Like, your Sage has a revive. Your Sage is going A. No reason for you to do, you know, to go B. Like, just play with them. Maybe right now, what would be a really good idea is to smoke the top of the B and fake a teleport on B. That you're maybe pushing the B side right now. Because they saw both you and Sage on mid, and maybe they're gonna think that you're committed to the B push. I mean, now when they saw a spike with a gecko, you're smoking the CT, teleporting in the elbow, and helping your teammates out. If you lose the life right now, not good. Aiden, do you have a different sensitivity like for ADS and for hipfire? You don't have like, I don't know, like okay.
Shadows traveling.
Listen, guys. In Valorant, if you already have the utility to fight the enemies, if you already have the flashes, if you already have a molotovs, nades, shit like that, boombots, try to create a fights that actually work in your favor. You don't need to hold this type of common angles and get one-tapped, and just fight the 50-50 fights fully overexposed. Like, just, you know, wait for the enemies to drop down, wait for the enemies to push you into the elbow, use the flash, pick them after the flash. Also in this example, like, the one-way smokes would have been amazing, man. Like especially in the post plant. Like, in the post plant, if you're able to do the one-way here, amazing smoke. Like, you know, if you're doing the one-way here, and also you have a one-way here for the CT, like, where your Raze can fully control the push of the CT from that position. And she can just hold the CT, you're holding the tower. Very good. And enemies did exactly what you should have done. You know? Like, in this example, especially with the Guardian. Like, I would just be holding this position, waiting for the enemies to push me. You know, maybe exchange a few bullets there, wait for the enemies, flash them, push them, kill them, etc, etc. Like, create easier gunfights for yourself. And I seriously don't know why the fuck you're playing Guardian on split. Like, not really the best weapon for this map.
There.
Omen, can you flash around?
What happened with the economy here?
Alright.
In those type of scenarios, like when you have 3,650 credits, you always want to go for the Vandal, Light Shield, and Utility. So you prioritize a better gun, Phantom or Vandal, whichever you prefer, Light Shield, and you go for the rest of the money for the Utility and you know, maybe a Shorty.
Homies, chill.
From sewers?
Too late for that, but I can.
Okay, guys. Yo, HT Motse, well, thank you all for the gifted subs to Rezings. Listen, if you are doing the flash from the sewers, I see a lot of Omen players, they use a flash like this from the sewers, or God forbid, like yesterday in Radiant lobby, I saw my Omen do a flash like this. Whenever you do a flash from the sewers for your teammates, it's always better to use it from here, so that you catch enemies already in the choke point there as you're using the flash. If they're maybe late for the push, and you still cover almost every single position where the enemies can be.
Stealing sight.
Flash like this.
elbow.
Going out. Shadows traveling.
If you have time, when you're pushing the A site, one-way smoke is much better than a regular smoke with Omen. Like, if you have time to do this one way, that goes all the way up on that, how the top of the wall. Like, I don't know how to call it, like that blue triangle up there. Do it. If you don't have time, just do a regular smoke. Focus on clearing the angles. You're pushing the choke points and positions as if you're pre-assuming that the enemies cannot be there. Reyna was the A player. Jet was the A player. Left corner. There. Left corner there. Elbow. CT. Sight. A lot of positions, man.
Brain on site for the all.
And anyways, like in this round, we could have made a call. Let's go B. Because we literally know, like, you need to, like, invest. Okay, one huge tip here and one huge note. Invest at least 50% of your brain power into enemies. You know, think about enemies. Like, basically, for 9 rounds, enemies played the same positioning, the same strategies, the same tactics, the same angles, the same bomb sites. We know that Killjoy is B, Omen is mid, KO is vents, Reyna and Jet are A. Right now, you know, you can also tell your teammates, guys, let's go B. We know, hey, probably like Jet and Reyna are once again playing A site. We killed the rotation from B. There's only Omen on B. Let's go B. We don't need to fight like 2 enemies on A. Potentially 2 enemies there. Okay, this fight that you have taken was fine though. Fine though, not that bad.
One enemy remaining.
Let's put it in.
Here you should have chilled a bit. Like, what? In this example, I will not push the tower. Because this enemy can still, you know, suspect that you're maybe, you know, like, going onto the tower. In this example, it would be just better if you're been chilling, like, in a main area of the map. And waiting to hear the Omen drop, one-way smoke on the spike, and just playing with a one-way. Oh, of course, like, these guys are, you know, low elo. They're only Ascendant and Diamonds.
Kill me.
Just wait, and if I kill...
Wait, I need to hear the call.
I know what must be done.
I need to hear the call for this.
KO always speaks fans.
Okay,
And knives here.
that's
So
some
just
call.
wait and then peek fans.
So you want to punish the KO in the vents?
If I kill the KO, I'm gonna look for the kill.
And you're waiting for the knife. It was okay idea. I have nothing against this, to be honest. Like, it was a solid read. It's kind of hard to get that kill, you know, when the enemies are jump spotting that angle. But fine, absolutely fine. You know, I have nothing to shit about. The only thing that I'm really sad in this game is that the ace was wide open for you. Like, I mean, Jet and Reyna on A. Come on, man.
Can use that.
Wait.
Bro, these guys are using a trigger bot on you, man. Like what the fuck is that? That was so stupid.
Cover going out.
And now his teammates are gonna make a mistake. Look at this. Like, his teammates took a kill on Jet. There is Reyna only on A site. And 3 of them are gonna run for that fucking kill on KO. Like fucking, like, piranhas, man. Like, they are ready. They're ready. Like, right now. Just pull back on A, kill the rain, I take the A side. Your crosshair placement needs to be a bit better, man. I don't know. In this match, I just feel that you're autopiloting a lot in terms of your angle clearing and in terms of generally your crosshair placement. Like, you're not really focused on where the enemies can potentially be, not clearing all of the possible angles, you know, that you're engaging. Like, here. If the enemy Omen has a smoke here,
Cover going out.
when the smoke disappears, I need to be aware that maybe he can be here. Potential, I don't know, like maybe he's going for that play. I'm gonna clear that position. As I'm moving here, I'm gonna properly place my crosshair for the absolutely highest position where the enemies can be. There. I'll move slowly, etc, etc. Like, crosshair placement needs to be fixed. Also, I'm gonna give you one huge tip, and I will not explain why you should do this. But in Valorant, crosshair placement for 2 vertical positions in FPS games. You always want to place your crosshair at the highest vertical position from which enemies can peek you, which I personally call the top to bottom rule.
Now, please.
Begins.
Hey Babito, for your aim routine playlist on aim labs, should I do once a day or what? I think I explained quite well, like how much you. I mean, you can do them. You can do them. Do them as much as you want, basically. Like, it's better to flash from the left side, but you can also do this flash. It's okay. And we're doing a fast flash.
You should run. Get out of my way.
How is this? How is this even close to Ascendant? What the fuck is happening in this game, guys? First of all, Raze did the double satchel from Hell. Second of all, Killjoy is doing the ultimate there to take the beam and control in the first 5 seconds of the round. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Fuck you, Reina, you fucking baiting dog.
One enemy remaining.
I was blind.
She was alone on B site as well? I mean, she was not alone, like Omen and Kia rotated. Nothing personal, but my diamond players are playing better than that. No, I'm not trash talking anyone, like, it's just... What the fuck is this? Like, where did you see this? You know, a lot of times when I'm coaching players in my private sessions, I'm like, where the fuck do you see this type of thing? You know, like, you're watching the streamers, you're watching the Radiant players, you're watching the pro players. 24/7. What was that, bro? I mean, this Killjoy is definitely in the B main area of the map. Like, there's absolutely no way. There is absolutely no way that Killjoy is not somewhere here. I mean, maybe she went back now with it, that you killed like 4 enemies. But since 2 of your teammates are holding the CT, like, I would just hold the vents and that's it, like. I mean, this was kind of obvious. Like, I mean, if the Killjoy did the ultimate there, I really don't know what the fuck she did.
Shadows traveling.
Okay, this one was fine. Like, whatever.
Cover going out.
Fine. Okay. Nice round.
Don't do it against.
I mean, not nice round. Like literally, and enemies just lost the round. How I hate like these type of games in Valorant. Like, I just don't know. Like, I really feel that in this game anyone can be immortal and radiant. But literally anyone can be immortal and radiant. Like, even if you have 10 IQ, you can be immortal and radiant in this game. Like, if you just think a bit more about what enemies are doing, where they're pushing and where they're abusing you. Like this Killjoy has the same setup on the same bomb site for 12 rounds in a row.
Just wait a bit.
Jet didn't use the operator on a defender side of split once.
Oops.
And all of these players, trust me, like 90% of Valorant community wants to be Radiant, 90% of Valorant community wants to be a pro player, and 90% of Valorant community are playing because they want some kind of a fame, money, and shit like that. Okay, not maybe 90, but let's say 70%.
I fucked up. Ah.
Cover going out.
This smoke here is very dangerous. Once again, like you needed to do a one-way there because KO is playing in the vents. KO will pop flash you. KO will destroy your anal cavity. Gecko is a bit dead zone now, man. Okay, that slow orb. That slow orb from the stage was really good.
Shadows traveling.
Got the spike, Wings.
This is exactly what I was speaking about in my at the start of this VOD review. Whenever you're splitting the B site, you need to have one teammate that is in the B main. If you notice that your teammates are not going through the B main, you need to be that guy. Like a lot of times, your teammates will not even suspect that one player can be here, and if you're already pushing S5 onto the B side from B tower, always make sure that you're at least the first one or the second guy going into the bomb site, and that you're clearing the B main for your teammates. They will never clear it in those type of lobbies. Almost never. Nice kill.
Landed. Thanks, Wings. Up and away. Rash is ready.
Right now, Charlatan would do the Charlatan special. Like, one thing that you're definitely not doing enough with Omen, you always want to buy the shorty as a secondary weapon. Because it is so easy to get the free kills with the shorty through the smokes and when you're doing the aggressive plays. Like right now, if I was playing this game and I have a smoke, like, I just smoke this, get into the smoke, play this off angle here, wait for the enemies, enemy drops down there, no problem, peek from the smoke, kill him, etc, etc. Like, and even if the enemies try to, spam your smoke, like, in those lobbies, like, there is absolutely no way that enemies will predict you on this type of position. Especially now where you see that two of them are on tower, man.
Shadows traveling.
I will Gecko.
We're going again.
One enemy remaining.
Did Gecko just miss both of them?
Raptors. On the spike.
Mosh pit! Mosh pit! Mosh pit, bro! Mosh pit! Nah, like, if you just change your mindset from I want to fight enemies in clean gunfights, in 50-50 fights 24/7, to I want to fight the enemies on my own terms and to win the round without even fighting the fucking enemies, you'll win like 20% more rounds. Oh, we won the round. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, split on the defender side. On defender side of split, I've explained this multiple times. A site is your quote-unquote default site. It is the site that you want to prioritize defending, and basically in the first round you always want to play A. A site is harder for the retake, easier for the post plant, easier for the push, harder for defense in general. Your primary focus on this map is not defending the bomb sites, and you never want to play passively B site and A site 24/7. Your primary focus is defending the B tower, making the pressure on mid, and defending the A tower. So whenever enemies are splitting the B site or splitting the A site, we are prioritizing this and this position and using the shrouded steps to help our teammates up there. If you lose the B tower and A tower, defending the overall map is much harder. Now, on this map, also what you want to do, you want to get the early information and to potentially get the picks in A main and B main area of the map so that you're not wasting your time on the bomb sites and so that you can do a fast rotations between the A site and between the B site. End of the story. If you don't have Sage on the team, you also need to focus on doing the one-way smokes in the B main, one-way smokes in A main, and one-way smokes in mid to actually help your teammates and to delay the enemy's push. We're gonna start at 6 to 9. No, I'm gonna be late 1 hour, man. You can do something. Now, first round with Omen on split. Very simple, very easy. I think I've explained it like millions of times. You play A, classic pistol shorty, light shield, 2 smokes, 1 shrouded step. Take the shorty, you hear the enemies pushing, prepare this smoke. The smoke needs to look like this. So basically, the smoke has this little gap where you can hide from the enemy's random penetration. When you hear that the enemies are there, you're peeking them, baba booey, taking a classic pistol, disengaging them. If enemies are using the sky dog or some kind of a utility to reveal you, you're choosing the perfect moment of time to get out of the smoke and going in and out of the smoke to basically dodge the enemy's recon utility. If the enemies are not pushing the A main, but they're pressuring the tower, you're doing the smoke up there, TPing into the smoke, or basically doing a smoke for the... like, you're doing the smoke for the A ramp. So my brain is at like 1%, like I slept 5 hours today, guys. And you're teleporting onto the tower and prioritizing the tower defense over the bomb site defense. Around 50% of times on split, like players love to push A in the first round, and 25% of times they love to push the A, mid and B. In solo queue. Can you give good coaching advice for Cypher players? I have multiple, like, I don't know, like, yeah, I mean, I coached, I reached with Cypher, like, Radiant in close beta, and I didn't play him that much, but I know, you know, the setups that you should do on every single map, and generally, like, majority of Cypher players, like, need to learn, like, when to flank, when not to flank, when to lurk, when not to lurk, and, basically, like, on the defender side, like, you just need to change your setups based on what enemies are doing. You cannot just do the same setup and same positioning 24/7. This is interesting. Enemies are playing default? We need to re-smoke. Pay attention on the timers. Pay attention on the timers. Like right now, we need to re-smoke. Yo, what the fuck was that timing, man? Like, he got the Charlatan unlucky timing, man. Bro, Reyna peaked exactly at the moment of time when he pulled out the smoke. I don't know, man, like, this setup that you did here on B, it's okay. I don't know what to say. Like, personally, I feel it would be much better if, you know, we're doing the double shorty setup on B main. Okay, we can do it. But it would be much better if you actually smoke like this, which allows your Reyna to play this position without being spammed and checking the smoke, and you're playing maybe, you know, some spot like this or some spot like this and trying to kill the enemies in that type of a crossfire. this one just allows the enemies to peek, you know, from this angle, and you won't have enough range to actually kill the enemies with the shorty.
Cover going out.
I got the.
Ping the rotating. Sage, come with me, please. Flash on mid.
30 seconds left.
In those type of 4 versus 2 scenarios, just make sure that all of you guys are playing on a refresh potential. And that's it. Like, it doesn't matter if the enemies plant the spike, where the enemies plant the spike, and where the fuck enemies are going. Like, if Sage and Raze are already playing together, make sure that you play with the Gecko, end of the story. Now I will go into the vents with Gecko, because he can die. I will go into the vents with the Gecko, because he can die, and he's alone, and it really doesn't matter if the enemies push the A set or not. But what matters is keeping this numbers advantage, and making sure that we're living a happy life. Like, essentially, you know, one big mindset for split. Mindset on split. You want to prioritize team play over the map control. Essentially, on split, both A set and B set are fairly easy for the retake. But team play is far more important on this map, and making sure that you're playing on a refresh potential and helping your teammates wherever the fuck they're picking a gunfights at that moment of time. That doesn't mean that we should sell the sites, you know, always, and that we should always, like, you know, that we should never have anyone on the bomb site. Just, you know, when you already make the numbers, if you're 3 versus 2, 5 versus 2, 4 versus 2, it really doesn't, you know, make sense to play alone.
Yeah, vent.
One enemy remaining.
Nah.
Spike down
Okay.
mid.
Okay, lucky.
Don't smoke.
Okay.
What the fuck am I watching? Are your teammates cheating? Like, well, this is a huge gamble, you know, like, we have no one on B. I mean, yeah, the highest chances are that enemies will maybe go mid in this round or A, but this is a huge of a gamble, like, for an anti-eco round. Something like this would be fine if you know, if you were playing a bonus round or playing a full eco round yourself. But when you're anti-eco, like, why the fuck are we pushing the enemies and like, I don't know, like, this is such a stupid mindset. This is a huge risk, man. You know, look at the positioning. Generally speaking, like, in anti-eco rounds, don't be the eco Cobra, man. You want to be the round Cobra. Like, make sure that, you know, like, abuse the gun advantage that you have. Fuck up the enemies, like, with the guns that you have, and that's it. Like, why are you closing the gap with the enemy? The enemies need to close the gap with you.
Low HP.
They're running.
And in those type of rounds, you don't want to gamble as much as you gambled right now. Also, right now, you need to pay you know, a bit attention on enemies have the Omen. Omen could have teleported on wall, maybe, and he can still, you know, already be on mid.
66 on yet.
B, B.
Could be out B, could be out B.
Cover going out.
Another mistake. Overheating, not prioritizing the team play. Enemies have just planted the spike. There's 2 or 3 enemies on the site. My teammates are on the opposite part of the map. We are 4 versus 3, we have better guns. Wait for your teammates. Defend the B tower. Make sure that you control the B tower and CT with a Sage. And just push when the Gecko and Reyna are there.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
That's low. That's low.
Shadows traveling.
In that scenario, I would not have dropped from the smoke before my teammates get a contact, or we are just ready to push together. I mean, that jet can be anywhere. Like she can be in the B main, she can be on mid. Like right now, I would just pay attention on B tower because no one is defending it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shadows traveling.
For sure.
In this round, this closer smoke was fine because you were playing a close range weapon. In every other round, when you're smoking the A main, you want to push the smoke as further back as possible, so that enemies cannot push you from multiple different positions. They need to cross through this choke point, and so they cannot, pop flash you and get into the site. So this is the best smoke for A main. When you have a long range weapons, and this is okie dokie. This is, maybe the best smoke when you're playing a close range weapons and you want the enemies to, outmaneuver the enemies in a close range gunfights. And here we come to the topic that I've explained at the start of this session, whatever you like, whatever. If enemies are splitting the A site from, main and tower, always prioritize on defending the tower. Right now, doing the smoke on tower, doing the flash on tower, teleporting on tower, fighting with the raise on tower, keeping the tower control. This allowing the enemies to make the sandwich out of you on site and retaking the site with your teammates. It's better and smarter. It's better and
Spike
smarter.
down A.
One enemy can still be aiming, no? Why are you watching there? Check it, bro! Like, what the fuck, bro? Aiden, man! What happened there, brother?
Ending.
Entering in.
Okay.
We win, we survive.
We win, we survive. Brenner. That was quite an easy round. Bro, like, this is huge gambling. I mean, I like when players do this in eco rounds, halberd rounds, or when you have a really good read where the enemies are gonna go next. But right now, I don't know, man. Yeah, in the first round, enemies went B. In the second round, they went A. In the third round, they ended up on B. And in the fourth round, they pushed A. But on split, if you already have one player or two players on B, it is absolutely stupid to play the B side with more than two players. Even one player is more than enough. Like right now, I would actually be on tower, supporting my teammates on mid, and just playing, with my Sage and Gecko.
Okay, they have.
Can you please showcase the one-way smoke on mid? Yes, Sirski. Basically, like, you want to do it right here, on top of this shit. It's so hard to do these smokes, like, without the shadow form. Like, I don't know how players position the smokes like this. Like, this is impossible.
Shadows traveling.
Vent should land, like, on top of here. Like, but make sure that, like, there's two positions where this smoke lands. Like, there's the first position, right there. And that smoke, I think, drops down. And there is a second position where the smoke actually sticks to this shit. So you wanna make sure that you nail down this. You need to, essentially, what the fuck, man? Where's my one-way smoke, bro? Valorant?
Shadows traveling.
I'm too tired. Hello?
Cover going out.
Bro, you literally need a lineup for this, like. Wait. Okay, I'm on the attacker side. Let's push mid, and I'm preparing the smoke for the mid. I usually put it as low as possible there.
Shadows traveling.
Aha, okay. Listen. Sorry guys, I'm working on 5 hours sleep. So there's actually 3 positions.
Traveling.
Okay. So there's 3 positions where the smoke lands, like actually on vents. Like there is a position 1 where the triangle is high. Position 2 where the triangle is low, but it's actually not low. It's not actually deploying on the real position. But if you move that triangle a bit more backwards, you get this smoke. So basically the smoke needs to land on top of this railing.
Rotate it once, I'm gonna fast rotate.
Yeah, hold tight, everything.
Shadows traveling.
Grenade!
Spike planted.
Enemy spotted A.
Good flash. Usually, like, when you're retaking the A set of split with Omen, like, what you want to do is the following. Like, basically, the best Omen retake of A site is using a smoke here and using a TP into that smoke. And then from this position, making the pressure onto the enemies and basically, you know, waiting for your teammates' contact. Like, if your teammates get a contact on site, peek from the smoke. If your teammates are pushing the elbow, clear that, peek the elbow. Like, if you have 2 smokes, and you don't have the aim and control, you want to do the smoke for the aim and obviously. If you have 1 smoke, you always want to use this smoke here.
Cover going out.
Last player standing.
Like, why do you stack A?
You will see that. When I'm playing Omen on split, I actually do this retake quite a lot, like with a smoke TP in this corner, using the 90-degree smoke to actually outmaneuver the enemies. Like when you're using the Omen smokes, like basically, what you say about the true stress resolution, like it's personal preference, more of a placebo. End of the story. Now, why do I use the smokes like this instead of the walls, so that the smoke provides me the cover for my ass when I'm peeking, you know, from the angles. Like if I peek this angle, I know that my ass is completely covered from all of these angles there. If I peek this angle, I know that enemies cannot kill me from, you know, behind.
Why? RB, I mean.
Get out of my way!
Right now, it is the perfect moment of time to do the execute that I showcased you.
A7.
Okay, it was empty. It was empty. Empty. On split, if I pick 386 RR, Immortal 3 this act, will I get more per win and less per loss next act? Yeah, a lot more. Up to around 400 rank rating. From 400 rank rating, it will even out. Listen, on split, like the absolute worst thing that you can do when you're playing the bomb set is starting passively. Like on split, you need to start a bit more aggressively, like picking the enemies and getting the information, whether the enemies are there and there. Like if you're playing the B side, and let's say you buy the Phantom, you need to get this information. Like you need to make the pressure onto the enemies, get the info where the enemies are, and you can also potentially get away with a kill. So here, you know, round starts, and I'll just do this. And what you want to abuse when you're doing this peak, you want to abuse the two-step mechanic so that your speed is the highest. And second thing that you want to abuse is basically the dead zone accuracy. Like, you know, you want to shoot at the moment of time when you're releasing the D key and pressing the A key. So that at least some of your bullets are actually accurate for that position. The whole point of this is not to kill the enemies. You have like 10, 20, 30% of chances of killing the enemies. The whole point is to make the pressure and reveal whether or not enemies are there. And then you can play some kind of a position like this, but I mean, with Omen, you definitely have better off angles to play anyways. How do I send clips to you? On my Discord server, you can contact my moderator, Frost, and he's gonna explain you everything.
Cover going out.
When you're doing the B-main smoke, that smoke is terrible. Like, the smoke in the B-main should always go towards the enemies, like this. So that enemies, when they're pushing the B side, they need to go through this choke point, and you can kill them there, maybe flash them and peek them. And even if they pop flash through this smoke, it's not going to be effective enough. But if you do a smoke like this, you know, Sage can already do a wall there, enemies can already push you here, push you there, etc, etc. Jet can already execute the site.
Here.
Ify beef.
Nice shot.
I'm here, my man.
Spike down A.
Look at spike.
Someone mid.
What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, we came to that part of the VOD, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're 5 versus 2. Go play with the Sage, you know, hold the B main area from the tower, make sure that you're playing replay with the Sage, like, simplify your gameplay.
One enemy remaining.
No need to complicate it, man. Dying for this orb would be the most stupid shit you can do as Omen player. Like, it is, your ultimate is so not important in the game that risking your life for the orb is the last thing you should do as an Omen player. Like, doing this as a Jet, maybe fine, you know, like, but now, how much credits you have down there? You have 300 credits. If you die right now, you don't have a gun in the next round. I mean, your teammates are gonna buy you, but you will damage your economy in the longer run.
Is ready.
And only God knows where this gear is.
Maybe it's me, I don't know. Yeah, for sure. 70.
And that is why I would have played with the Sage. So also I can refrag her.
30 seconds left.
You got your orb right now.
I just
Ooh, Killjoy ultimate, KO ultimate, bro. I don't know, man. Smells like B-side. Smells like B-side to me, bro. If I see that Killjoy and KO have the ultimate on split, B push quite likely. Quite likely. In these type of rounds, you need to take the map control somewhere. And on split, it makes more sense when you see that Killjoy and KO have the ultimate to take the B main control. Because if they do their ults on B, the site is free. Like here, I would just do a one-way right here on top of this angle. Tell one of my teammates to push the B main, flash the enemies, and take the full B main control with my teammate. This is not looking good, man. This is not looking good.
You should run.
I mean, they can push anything, but, you know, like, B is a bit easier. The whole point is you need to make the pressure on at least one area of the map. And anyways, you know, you need to gamble. Gecko is being chilling, man, like on A site. I really respect what Gecko tried to do there. Like, I mean, it's a okay idea. Sometimes, you know, if you're in a really fucked up position, and you're inside of the Killjoy ultimate, the best thing you can do is just, you know, trade yourself for like maybe like 1 or 2 kills and that's it. Right now, again, you know, you want to do a smoke there, smoke aim in, teleport into this smoke, and from that smoke, you know, pick the enemies and split them up into 1 versus 1 gunfights.
Shadows traveling.
Revive.
Spike planted.
Flash.
You have a flash, man. You have flash.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Brother. Guys. What the fuck is happening with my stream? Like literally, today, my stream died. My stream died 5 fucking times. Can somebody explain me why the fuck is this happening? Is the Twitch the problem? My internet is fine. Like my internet is not dying. I think this is Twitch problem, like or the, you know, the
He needs me. I can't be
Insane.
away for long. Let's end this.
packet loss. I don't have any packet loss.
Okay.
Mid. All mid.
It is extremely important as an Omen main to learn the one-way smoke on mid. With that one-way, you can literally control the full mid area of the map. Harbor is the best controller, right? He is the best controller in team play. In solo queue, he is shit. Basically, F-tier controller in ranked solo queue. In ranked solo queue, up to Immortal 3, Omen is the best. And for Immortal 3, you need to learn how to play Viper and Astra and Brimstone on some maps. Like, Brimstone is the best on Fracture. Astra is the best on Pearl. I mean, on Pearl, like, you can play Astra and then Viper. On Haven, Omen. On Bind, Omen. For solo queue. On what else? Icebox, Viper. On Lotus. I mean, you can play anything, to be honest. In Immortal 3, you can play like Omen, Astra, Viper, Harbor, like everything is good. On actually, like Harbor is the F tier controller all the way up to Immortal 3. From Immortal 3, like Harbor is viable, like on some maps, and in depends, you know, what type of teammates you get, whether they're mental gorillas or not. What about Dust 2? On Dust 2, man, like, who would be the best? On Dust 2, Omen would be the best. 100%, man. On Dust 2, Omen would be like insanity. Let me just get back into the game. Yo, man, I'm so tired, bro. 5 hours of sleep.
Going out.
So, one way here. One way is important. And one thing that you're doing that is really scary here is that you don't have any information whether or not enemies are pushing from the B main. Like when you're playing on the bomb sites, when you're playing on A, when you're playing on A site, you need to have the vision of whether or not the enemies can cross here into the tower and A main. When you're playing B site alone, you need to have the vision of the B main and get the info to your teammates, like, you know, whether or not enemies are pushing the B site. Like, you cannot just sit here and right now enemies maybe wrap your teammates onto the tower and kill them, and, you know, surprise factor doesn't matter in those type of scenarios. Because if you sell your teammates and enemies do something like this, you literally lost the whole round. This is so dangerous, man. So fucking dangerous. Yeah. Oh, bro. This is so sad. Never do this. Never do this. But never do this. Like on split, if you're playing B set and A set alone, you need to watch the cross into the sites and to give your teammates the info whether or not enemies are pushing.
How is he heaven? How is he heaven?
Yeah, now your teammates are angry, huh?
You kidding?
And this is also another thing that you should never do in solo queue. If you die, dead, don't speak. Give the information. Don't be a mental gorilla, bro. Like right now, my man Aiden could have got a kill there, but he got distracted by his mentally ill teammate. And, you know, it's really distracting.
A.
30 seconds left.
Quick question. What is the reason that NA has a lower Radiant RR requirement than EU? I think in Europe there are more players, number one. It is a larger region. And second reason is... generally, like, EU is far more competitive than NA. Like, EU players are grinding... I don't know how to explain it. Like, EU solo queue environment in ranked is far better than in NA. Like, but I think the main reason is just the number of players in a region. Like, I feel that in EU, like, combining all of the countries and everything, like, there's far more players.
Spike down A.
Yeah, good for you, Gigo.
Don't peek, don't peek, don't peek. Guys,
Shut the fuck up!
I'm one shot, why are you peeking?
You can get your heal.
Play together?
Gigo.
No, it
No,
didn't
no,
take
no.
it, didn't take it. Peek, Gecko, peek for heal.
What the fuck enemy Omen just did right now? Why enemy Omen didn't pick up the spike with ult? In those like situations when you have a numbers advantage on split, the only thing that you need to do a bit better is gather information in some kind of a way where you're not risking your life. Okay? Like basically, right now it seriously doesn't, you know, like it's not your job to fight the enemies alone. You have the flash, you have the utility, you have two teammates alive, and you have a spike on A. Gecko can cover your CTS, and basically on tower, I mean, you can just do this. And that's it, like. Get this information, you see that, you know, KO is there, use a flash, pick him, kill him, end of the story.
10 seconds.
You need to find better ways of gathering the info for yourself, like when you're playing this, generally when you're playing on the map. But the main potential that you and your teammates are not abusing are these aggressive peaks in A main and B main, and nobody's using the operator, man. Like on split, it is so important to have a player that uses the op. Even if you're playing Killjoy, even if you're playing Cypher, Sage, you should learn how to play op on split and how to pick A main and B main area of the map for easy kills, and mid as well. Like it is so easy against the enemies that have a poor pathing and poor utility usage to get early kills in A main, B main, and mid. All of you guys are way too passive, man.
My wall meet.
Shadows traveling.
That smoky shit, one way is better.
Cover going out.
Fuck.
The gap in your smoke.
Good kill. Reposition. Reposition. Teleport away. You know, after I get a kill there with the judge, I need to get away. Like, I need to keep my location a secret. Because, you know, when the enemies start pushing into the B main... Basically, like, you know, this is the first angle they're going to clear. What is the one way on mid? One way on mid is... I think I showcased it like 3 times today. Here. This one way. I don't know how to do one ways like from this position. Basically, you put your triangle up there. You pull the mouse as far bottom as you can. That's it. I mean, if you keep playing this angle, you are dead. There is no way that you stick to playing this angle, man. Smoke it. Take the gun out, the enemy can be behind you. Bro, look at your ass.
What do I don't know, man. Careful, Evan.
Someone.
Map and game awareness, 0 points. 0 points. Like, you need to pay more attention, like on timings, on everything, like on crosshair placement, where the enemies can be, where the enemies cannot be, etc., etc.
Yeah, go away.
If you flash, we spray them down.
Yeah, go away.
Okay. No. This guy pushed Amen with Odin. NT. You cannot. You can almost never play in the Omen smokes like this. Like, you are such an easy target for the enemies. People usually spray those type of smokes, and it is much better to just play outside of the smoke or to do a smokes in a different way with the cubby positions that I've showcased in the first round. Oh, but no. This is another thing that you cannot do. Like, if you cannot spray from inside of the smokes in those type of areas of the map. Like, it is 10 times easier for the enemies to kill you in this type of a scenario than for you to kill the enemies. Like, in this scenario, what he should have done is the following. Like, basically, you know, he picked up that Odin. Okay, fine. He should have pulled back here, crossed, spammed the cross there, and tried to find some kills there. Enemies are pushing the gecko, flash the enemies, teleport on tower, prioritize the tower, prioritize playing with the gecko, re-smoking A main, playing with the gecko, killing the enemies from here. Like, that is, you know, for every single scenario that happens in Valorant, I always have some kind of a plan. But that primarily comes from my experience and from the amount of time that I spent, like, VOD reviewing, playing the game, teaching the players, like, and that is something that you build over the time, you know, as you're observing yourself, as you're doing the VOD reviews, and that's the whole point of VOD reviewing and you know, having the someone to explain you how to play every single scenario as best as you can. Because in Valorant, theoretically speaking, you're gonna play around 5,000 scenarios at most. Once you learn how to play all of these scenarios, the game becomes very repetitive, and it is very easy for you to basically, like, you know, make the absolutely best game decisions in those scenarios. Okay, guys. Aiden, I think I've explained a lot of things for you. And I think that there is nothing else for us to cover. I think that you have a really good idea what you should do next. For all of you guys in the chat, there is one more live VOD review giveaway on my Discord server that you can access right now. If you want to get coached by me, join my Discord server. Also, like, do you continue to progress even after being 20 times Radiant? Yes, like I said that yesterday. Like, literally, you know, there's still a lot of things that I can learn, and there's a lot of things in which I can become much better. Like, first of all, my communication became shit because I played solo queue for 3 years, and you know, I'm not speaking as much as I can. My mechanical skill, even though it is nothing special, you know, I think I'm the bottom Radiant when it comes to mechanical skill. I'm still able to reach Radiant. I don't know. I feel that mechanics in Valorant are overrated. You know, like the game offers you so many different ways to play the game where, you know, spending more than 1 hour of aim training per day or 2 hours is just waste of time, like in Valorant. And one thing where I can definitely become better is always game knowledge. Like this game is consistently evolving. You can make different strategies, make your current strategies better. So there's always something to learn, you know. Now, do I need to practice and train and VOD review myself after reaching 20 times Radiant? Definitely not. Like, I feel that I can reach Radiant in every single act without anything, just abusing the Jet Omen 24/7 and playing the same playstyle that I played from close beta, because this game is so easy. Like literally, this is the easiest competitive game that I ever played. League of Legends, CS:GO, compared to this, they're here. Valorant is like here, at least when it comes to, you know, ranked solo queue environment. When it comes to the pro play, like Valorant is complex, you know, like much more complex than CS:GO in my opinion. Now, that's it. Are you playing in the pro cities servers? I'm from EU. I don't have access to that. That's only for NA, unfortunately. What do you mean by many ways to play the game? Can you give examples? You can reach Radiant by, you know, like playing Yoru with a judge only, playing Cypher with a judge only, playing only Operator and abusing the Operator, like if you're that type of a player, one-tap weapons. You can be the spray and pray type of player, like abusing the aggressive Omen, getting in the face of the enemies. You can use the Jet with a Bucky and shotguns and get in the face of the enemies and fuck them up. You could just, you know, play the regular CS playstyle where you just pick the Reyna, Phoenix, Jet, and, you know, you frag out enemies with Vandal and Phantom. Like, there's some kind of a, like, there's multiple ways how you can, you know, become better and how you can actually, you know, progress in this game. Would you recommend to stick to 1 to 2 agents, 1 to 2 agents up to Immortal 1? For Immortal 1, you need to expand your agent pool. Okay, guys, I'm dead. I have a coaching session right now. We need to, you know, we need to know when to quit. Sorry for the stream crashes today. I don't know what happened. Like, our stream crashed like 5 times. I will see how I can fix that for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're doing another live VOD review. And tomorrow, it is the last day when I'm going to be playing on my main account, and we are finally starting Jet to Immortal series. Tips and tricks, baby. Tips and tricks. Thank you a lot, guys. Much love. Let's raid someone. Who are we going to raid? I have effing no idea. Who is streaming? Is anyone interesting streaming? Let's raid Royal, bro. He's okay, guy. Royal GFT. Okay, boys. Boys and girls, see you tomorrow. Much love. Take care. All of that good stuff. Join my Discord server. Buy the coaching. You know.
That touch get killed. I'ma slide in the ring, then I'm spitting that face guard. All I gotta do is wait for the right moment. Like, wait, I feel a beat drop on the 8th bar. Living for the fam, my soldiers. Once in a lifetime, life twice over. All these bitches thinking they hot till I smolder. All these bitches thinking they hot when I'm sober. All these bitches thinking they hot when I'm colder. Shaking up the rush to brush up my quota. It ain't had to be this way, man. I told you. Heated from the head to toe, I bipolar you. Oh no. You can't even see the plane. I got a tenant. You ain't seen the vision of your people. I can see them squinting me. I'm getting pulled with the heater. Cause the heater lifted. Told you I'm the coldest with the heater. Cause the lever rigid. See, I'll never see the benefit. But you gon' need a wicked hand to put your team into the negative to see the difference. Everybody speaking like they did it. But you need to zip it. See the digits every time I speak a sentence. People listen. You gon' turn me back to the old me. To a monster. I just wanted low key. Old man shit. I just wanted more peace. Then you turn the peace on me. That was OD. Go take 13. That was on me. How you gonna flex on me? I'm the OG. Told me get on your level. That's a long leap. Power rules everything, bitch. That's the motif. Everybody say they running the sea. How you running when you